Hey guys, this is Melon Method, aka Nate, and here's my bonus episode of Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro. What we're going to do is play through training mode. Normal difficulty. First I'm going to show you something really cool. One of my favorite parts of the game. Instant action. Basically, if you just want to play the game and beat up on some bad guys, you can just do this. It's literally just this giant danger room grid where there's just infinitely spawning enemies, and you get to fight them as much as you want up until you die or quit. So basically, if you just want to play the game or you need a stress reliever, you know, this is good. It's also great for practicing any moves you've learned throughout the game, which this game isn't really that difficult to master, just a few basic moves, but it's a blast. I remember when I kept getting stuck on the boss fight against Shocker, I'd get as far as Shocker, give up, come back and play this. This was always a blast, and it still kind of is. You can just go around, hit enemies. I love hitting enemies off the building. Like, this is so satisfying. Just go like, aw, he died before you. You die. I still think Resident Evil 2 is the best game over screens ever, as you actually see your character dying. But that's just me, and that's just because I'm a survival horror fan. I'm sure there's some people out there are frightened by that kind of thing. Like Christy, who couldn't get through all of Captain America without nearly breaking my hand. Don't worry, Christy. I'm just joking. I don't hate you for that. I just like making fun of you for that. So grenade. Watch him get blown up by his own grenade. He must have. Or either I defeat him that quickly. I like the music. It's very repetitive, but I kind of like the vibe. Though, was the Danger Room ever like this? Then again, it kind of had this appearance to it in, what was it? In X-Men Next Dimension for the 6th generation of consoles, so Xbox, GameCube, PS2. That is a really awesome, that is one of my favorite fighting games in general. It's a really fun fighting game starring the X-Men. Maybe I should show it in a video sometime. There is a story mode to it. Oh yeah, I forgot. You can yank in different directions, which really isn't useful in the main game, but it can be fun. Like, if you yank and then quickly move the control stick or the D-pad to the left. You can move them to the left, or you can yank them to the right. It's hard to get the timing correct on that, but when you can, it's a lot of fun. And if you push triangle or square, then down triangle, you can yank them over your head, which took a lot of time for me to master as a kid, but then I got it. I like the training here in this game. It's a lot more fun than in the first one, where it was a bunch of random missions. It didn't really feel organized. But I will say, this training area with this grid design obviously took influence from Metal Gear Solid. Like, when I played Metal Gear Solid, I could find so many games, movies, and whatnot that reminded me of Metal Gear Solid because I played it so much, and I memorized just about everything about it. That's another game I want to Let's Play, but I don't want to do that until I have an actual recorder, because I don't think I could do that game justice without a recorder. And there's not much more I can show in instant action here. This is just kind of me rambling on. So what I'm going to do is quit, and I'm not going to... Well, I guess I could go through a couple training missions, but I never got far in them. I might as well play a few, just for fun. Now, the challenge sessions could be interesting. Now, I use the Aunt May cheat code so I can play everything. Now, I played the web swinging and web yank missions quite a bit, but that's usually as far as I would get as a kid. So I might as well do that. Here's Professor Xavier.
Well, Spider-Man, I see you've decided to take advantage of Beast's offer to train in our state-of-the-art danger room. This exercise will test one of your greatest abilities, web swinging. To complete this mission, you'll need to turn all of the green areas blue by landing on them or walking over them. Be careful, though. Do not touch the red areas, or you will fail the mission.
Okay, Prof, this should be a piece of cake. I was born for this sort of thing.
Now what's funny is if you played the training missions on kid mode, there's no red areas, so think about how confusing that would be. So, this is pretty easy. Although the music's different in training mode than in instant action. There's actually a couple different songs for training. There's this, there's I think challenge mode and instant action are different ones, and there's actually 2 themes to the standard training. One other one you don't see until L1 targeting. This is fairly easy. Now, in kid mode, the training would end on this tower I'm about to land on. Now, one of my complaints about training is there's not a real order to it, which it's annoying. I would think combat training would go first, stealth would be last, but no. So here, what you have to do is you have to jump, web swing, and jump and quickly swing again to make sure you don't fall. Because if you touch the red area, you fail the mission. But what was also annoying is that training levels had to be unlocked, meaning you couldn't play any other training level until, like, if you have to beat this to get to the next level, then you have to beat the next level to keep going forward. And some of these can be tricky.
What'd I tell you? I'm a natural.
There's actually one training level that I absolutely do not like, and that is the stealth one. It's unnecessarily hard and extremely useless. So we'll try web yanking. Web yanking is kind of fun. It is fun to see enemies go around and have the professor talk with telepathy to you.
This mission utilizes another of your web abilities, the web yank. You can pull both enemies and some objects by pressing down at the same time you press the web button. You can yank to the side by pressing diagonally down to the left or right, and the web button to yank in those directions. Follow my instructions and make your attempt.
That sounds easy enough. Are you gonna do that talking in my head thing? So creepy.
I intend to do just that, Spider-Man.
Okay, then.
No, maybe, actually,
Web yank straight.
Onwards and upwards.
maybe after I play a few training missions, I should show you guys the gallery, because the gallery is actually really cool.
Web yank left by pressing diagonally down and left, and the web button.
Okay, I just had this earlier. Dude. Oh gosh. Why can't I do it now?
Easy as pie.
Okay, got that.
Web yank right by pressing diagonally.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that didn't take as long, surprisingly. Now,
Now then, show us your special.
I can tell this will be very useful.
Excellent, Spider-Man. Now, some objects can also be web yanked. If you...
Oh, yeah.
that was easy. Spidey has some pretty funny commentary throughout these training missions, which I'll definitely have to make sure you guys get to hear. Alright, L1 targeting can get interesting. Alright, this is one of the other training themes.
This mission tests your L1 aiming abilities.
Oh, wait. I skipped it to make this go faster, but... I've skipped Spidey saying, this will be useful for getting cats out of trees. This just tests your L1 aiming. You're supposed to stick on only the green areas, going up this tower kind of thing. Definitely one of the easier, if not the easiest training mission in this whole game. Though, ziplining can definitely get tricky. I'm kind of not looking forward to that. Well, I'm kind of am because it's interesting and unique, but I'm kind of not. Actually, L2 is probably aiming is probably the easiest mission in the game. And you just go back down, hit that. Alright, congratulations. Now, in challenge mode, you can replay through these training missions for the high score. And that can get pretty tricky, and it is kind of fun. In fact, if you play the combat one, the attack one, and defeat 75 targets or more, you unlock a costume. That's Prodigy from the Identity Crisis saga.
In this mission, Spider-Man, you will practice using your L2 targeting feature. When there are multiple targets on screen, you can easily cycle through them by pressing the L2 button repeatedly. When you have your target, press up and the web button to fire impact webbing at it.
Hit only the green targets. You'll fail the mission if you hit the red ones.
Simple enough. Do I get a prize for this? I could use a stuffed rabbit for my girl.
Alright. So L2 targeting, this was one of the new features added to this game, which you didn't get to see much of in the Let's Play, but it's a really handy feature. And when I played Spider-Man 1 again for the first time in years, I missed it, as it was really helpful. Same with being able to shoot impact webbing in the air. I think the one boss fight, or the one time when not having impact, or being able to shoot impact webbing in the air, or have L2 targeting became annoying, was when I fought Mysterio. Though, something I have to point out, impact webbing was a creation of Ben Reilly's, so why do we see Peter Parker using it? I mean, it's useful in the game, but it's definitely something to wonder. But then again, only a comic book nerd would say that. And only a guy that's read the classic comics with Ben Reilly in them. Now, some of these targets are red, and you just walk past them. For instance, walk past that, hit this. Yeah, this literally is basically the easiest training mission. Unless for some reason you like to hit the red targets. It just takes a little patience to make sure you cycle for the right targets, but it's not that hard. I think isn't there one more? Yeah, I figured there's one large set of targets, which looks similar to what is it? What Wii game? Zelda Link's crossbow training, maybe? It's either that or Wii Play. It was what those 8 targets kind of reminded me of. I don't know. And Spidey does not get something gift wrapped for his girl. I'm sorry, Spidey. Maybe if you ordered it off Amazon, you could get it gift wrapped. Okay. Now, zip line. Zip line. This is really interesting. One of the more challenging ones, but it's enjoyable challenge. Just listen to this.
Whoa, this looks interesting.
This is to practice your zipline ability, Spider-Man. These are the only places you may touch. If you touch anywhere else, you fail.
All or nothing, huh, lady? All right, I'll give it a whirl.
Oh yeah, you can't web swing either for this one.
Trying to make this easy, eh? Stand back, people. Be back in a jiff.
Remember, Spider-Man, you can only touch the green areas.
Green, right, got it.
So here, what you have to do is stick to only the green. Okay, so remember, R1 is what allows you to zip on. What you gotta do is you gotta jump. So press R1 quickly to... Let's try that again. And land on green areas. Don't get R1 and L1 mixed up. That was a major problem when I was playing... Okay, I said this earlier, but I'm gonna say it again. When I was playing Legend of K, you know, I've been playing that quite a bit, like every day, and I love it a lot. But I keep getting L1 and R1 mixed up, which often leads to me wasting items. Now, there was actually something similar to this in the previous game, where you had to collect items through ziplining. And this is one of the more challenging challenges in training mode, I have to say, but it's an enjoyable challenge. I mean, there's challenge there are games that are difficult but fun because they're difficult, like old NES games. Then there are games that are difficult and annoying. Then there are games that are easy yet fun, and that only took 2 tries, which I'm surprised by. Oh, never mind. I forgot there was this second section. So confident in yourself, huh? Huh, MM? I was thinking about using I actually almost call myself Grover, which is my last name. Yes, just like the Sesame Street character, but I thought, I want to use something associated with my nickname. Ah! I failed, but I was close enough. I'm just gonna... No, I'm not going to do... You know what? Maybe I should do stealth just so you guys see what it's like. Just so you can see how stupid it is. Because stealth is not necessary in this game. Just listen to the explanation. That's all you need. All you need is love.
This one might pose more of a challenge, Spider-Man. It helps you to work on your stealth abilities.
The objective is to make it to the end without alerting the guards at all. This means no webbing them up or attacking them.
Being cautious will sometimes keep you out of dire situations. This mission teaches you how to take advantage of your ability to sneak around.
Yeah, I can do sneaky.
Oh, this is annoying though, because as soon as any one guard sees you, it's game over. It's like the extreme difficulty in Metal Gear Solid. But just watch. That's all you gotta do. And I've never beaten stealth in my life, which is why I'm not going to play that. I am instead going to play the attack mode, because this is actually fun. You just have to fight enemies for 2 minutes, which is basically like what instant action was like.
This will test your combat skills, Spider-Man. You need to last for 2 minutes to complete this mission.
No problem, Teach. I can do this in my sleep.
Why this wasn't like the first training mission, as opposed to like one of the later ones, I don't get. Because this is ridiculously easy. Okay, you don't have a lot of webbing, but still. Lasting for 2 minutes? Seeing how this isn't really that hard of a game and the enemies aren't that difficult to beat, this is just... I mean, it's fun, but when it comes to combat, When you want to fight enemies in training mode, you play instant action. That's just enough said. I love instant action. This is just kind of boring. The only reason you play this is to unlock challenge mode to try to defeat 75 enemies and get the Prodigy costume. See, I only remember how to get some costumes because of the walkthrough. I had a walkthrough that detailed every level of this game as played by a beta tester. In fact, if you play What If mode, you see his face after you beat Hyper Electro in the last level. And it described like where to get all the comic books, where to get all the costumes. I didn't really want to focus on that because I've never done that before, and I find it to be kind of annoying. And it's one of those games where the 100% completion bonus simply is not worth it. Which is my problem with a lot of these games, where you have to collect a lot of items. It's typically not worth it to collect all the items in the game, because you typically get like an additional costume that kind of gives you a lame power, or a cutscene that really doesn't add much to the story. Think the Spyro games. Much as I love Spyro, the 100% completion bonuses are never worth it. Unless the Unlimited Super Flame can transfer to other files, which I'm not sure if it does or not. I've never tried that theory. But it is, the Unlimited Super Flame in Spyro 2 is kind of lame, and I actually died. Well, since this is a bonus episode, I'm going to make it a little longer. I'm just going to do one more thing. I'm going to show you guys the gallery, because the gallery is awesome. There's the character viewer, so you can view all the characters.
Mild-mannered, highly intelligent, sometimes neurotic hero of the game.
So you can zoom in, zoom out with L1 and L2. You can push square and circle down to do different actions. Unfortunately, characters do not say anything.
Blessed or maybe cursed with a mutant ability.
No, there's not really much to show here. Well, I could show Hyper Electro.
Our mild-mannered
Hyper Electro is interesting.
After merging with the BioNexus device, Electro became pure energy. With nearly infinite power, Hyper Electro will prove Spidey's greatest challenge yet.
This is the one character that's unique to only this game, which is cool. Movie viewer, you can view all the cutscenes. Comic collection, there's a lot of comics here. You only get the covers, but you learn a little bit about the stories. I've read this one. I've read this one. I've read this one. I've not read that one. Not that one or that one. Sorry, I'm running through them kind of quickly. I've read this. No, not that. There are some really interesting stories. Definitely some of the darker ones, like the first appearance of Ezekiel right there. Electro story. I've not read that one. I have not read that one. That was the first appearance of the rubber suit. Shocker. Spidey vs. Shocker. I've read that one. And I've read that one. I actually used to own those two comics before I gave them to a friend because I didn't really read them anymore. There's the Web Spider-Man costume. Not the Web Spider-Man, Spider Armor. First Hammerhead. Electro and Shocker together. I read that one. I have not read that one. I have not read that one. I have not read that one. Not that one. Those are that's the wedding comic. I've not read that one. Never read that one. I've not read that one. Not read that one. Not read that one. And you would think Spidey would have gotten normal because that was the one talked about, but look at the number. The Amazing Spider-Man 341. Go back here. You actually have The Amazing Spider-Man 425 and 422. Yeah, so basically, Spidey went normal, but he kind of came back thanks to the Black Cat. Bugle headlines that allows you to view all the newspapers you saw after boss fights. Yeah, now with 1 and 2, there's always 2 per boss fight, and this is for if you lose a boss fight. And that's for winning. But what I really want to show you is this. Parker's Portfolio. You get this after winning any boss fight. Kid mode version. Spidey vs. Shocker. See, they look like kids. Spidey vs. Hammerhead. Lizard. Sandman. Electro. And Hyper Electro. Now, play normal, you get basically the regular versions of this, like what you see in the newspapers. That looks cool. That was cool. That was also cool. Yeah. Though my favorites are these. This is what you get for... No. This was easy. This is normal. That's a really great shot. That looks like straight out of one of the comic books I might have read when I was a kid. Oh yeah, yeah, both the helicopter and Hammerhead shooting at Spidey. The lizard coming at you. Sandman got a grip on Spidey. Electro. And Spidey trying to punch Hyper Electro, which actually would not have worked, but I will. Now, black and white ink ones. I'm not sure why these are the ones you get for playing on hard, because who wants to just see black and white images? I guess they are some more detailed, but I don't know. I hate that sound. But those are really the gallery and some of the other cool stuff. I mean, the other things you do, you can punch in cheats, create a spider, costumes. There's a lot of costumes in the game. Might as well show off a few. Spider Phoenix.
What happens when the Phoenix...
Prodigy from the Identity Crisis Saga. Dusk. The insulated
suit. A suit made of rubber insulation make...
Alex Ross.
Spidey with a makeover at the hands of the now legendary Alex Ross.
This one was kind of a prototype from the movie. Now this one is the first costume I ever unlocked in this game.
Alex Ross's Spidey, now available in white.
I remember I didn't have Alex Ross's first costume, so I was confused all this time that Stan Lee said that. So that was weird. Earth X.
For all of you that haven't read Earth X, Spidey was nice enough to model Venom 2's outfit for you.
I've never read Earth X. That's the negative zone
the
suit.
Negative zone
That's what you get for being smokescreen in 90
and
seconds. Fake costume, $20.99.
The suit worn by Miguel O'Hara to stand up for justice in the year 2099.
Captain Universe, longtime favorite.
Captain Universe, powered by the Enigma Force.
That costume was like the holy grail of the first Spider-Man game. Spider-Man Unlimited.
Trapped on Counter-Earth, our hero dons the nanotech suit of Spider-Man Unlimited.
Another costume I like more than the classic Spidey. Haters gonna hate. Bagman, this is funny.
Costume or superhero prank? The amazing Bagman.
You play this one just if you want more of a challenge.
Born
Spider, you've seen that.
Ben Reilly. A serious case of mistaken identities left New York with one Spidey too many.
That's not really significant. Peter Parker. And battle damage. This is what happens when you fight Electro in story mode with a regular costume. This is the only costume you can use. Well, if you're doing a standard playthrough with the regular costume, that is. It doesn't give you any in-game powers. It just looks weird. Even though it's not damaged in the cutscenes. Classic Spidey. And that's really all there is to show, special-wise. You've seen the training missions, you've seen the gallery. If you want a better look at the gallery, go Google search stuff, I guess. But that is all I have to show you for Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro. This is the first Let's Play I finished here as Melon Method. I want to thank you very much for watching this, especially if you've watched every episode, including this bonus episode. And I will see you guys next time on my next Let's Play, which will be of another game that I loved from my childhood. Alright, I'll see you guys then. Love you. Bye.